percentages. Okay, I hope everybody got it. That's for the first part. And then the Max collected the following data for part 2. Refer to this data in answering questions 11 through 13. Okay, so there are two columns A and B using two different glassware. Looking at which piece of glassware delivers 10 milliliters most accurately. Okay. J going to be mass of the empty beaker, and then you take 10 milliliters from the glassware A, and then you put 10 milliliters into the beaker, and then you get the mass. And then say to the same beaker you take another 10 milliliters using the glassware A, and then pour it into the beaker, and then you take and get the mass, and you take this third 10 milliliters from the glassware A, and then you pour it into the beaker, and you're going to get the mass again. So that's how you get JKLM data, and also the temperature of the water given. Use the data provided above to calculate the average volume of each aliquot. Row V for glassware A to answer this question. You will need to complete all of the calculations in rows P through U of the data sheet. Okay, now this is referring to the data sheet that in our experiment handout. Enter the number that correspond to the average volume of each aliquot without units in the box provided. Now we need to do some calculations here. First we need to find out what is the mass of each aliquot. Now for K minus J will give us the mass of the aliquot 1. So 79.835 79.835 minus 70.054. That will give you the mass as 9.781. Okay, so K minus J for a column A, that's going to be 9.781. That is going to be the mass. And then the second aliquot, the mass is going to be L minus K, which is 89.71 minus 79.835. It gives us 9.875 exactly. But we're going to keep our answer in 2 decimal places, L minus K. Okay, this is going to be L minus K, 89.79. But answer we got is 9.875. 875, but we want to keep it in 2 decimal places. You're going to drop the 5, and since the number retaining is an odd number, you're going to be adding 1. So that's going to be 9.88. 9.88. Okay, so the first one we kept it in 3 decimal places because K minus J, they both had 3 decimal places. And then the last mass going to be M minus L. That is the mass of the third aliquot. M minus L, that's going to be 99.48 minus 89.71, 9.77. 9.77. That is the masses. Now it is asking into the number that correspond to the average volume. So all of these are masses. How do you calculate the volume? Where did it go? Okay. So we want to find out the volume. How do you calculate the volume? Remember, the density is mass over volume, so the volume going to be mass over density. So you use that. Volume is going to be mass over density, and this is being recorded at the temperature 22 degrees. So the density is going to be 0.9978 grams per milliliter. So those masses you're going to divide by 0.9978 to find out the volume. So the volume for the first volume V1 going to be, when you divide 9.781, you divide, so this is grams, you're going to divide it by 0.9978 grams per milliliters. That's going to be 9.781 over 0.9978. That's going to be 9.803. So 4 significant figures. So your answer is going to be in 4 significant figures because it's a division. 9.80256. So you're going to add 1, 803 milliliters. So likewise, V2 going to be 9.88 divided by 0.9978. That's going to be 9. We have to keep it in 3 significant figures because 9.88 has 3 significant figures. Density has 4. You have to keep it in 3 sig figs. 9.9017. So we're going to keep it as 9.90. That's the V2, and V3 going to be then 9.77 divided by 0.9978, 9.79, 3 volumes, milliliters. Now to find the average, you're going to add these 3 together. 9.803 plus 9.90 plus 9.79. So this is addition. So we have to keep in 2 decimal places. You add all these up. It gives you 29.49 with 3 decimal places. And then you're going to divide it by 3 to find out the average volume, 9.83. And then you're going to write it down here, 9.83, okay, without the units. And you do the same thing. Okay, 9.83 is for question 11. 9.83 over here, 9.83. You don't write the units, okay. And then the question 12, use the data provided in question 11 to calculate the average volume of each aliquot for row V for glassware B. So far we did for glassware A, so you do the same thing for glassware B, okay. And then what you need to do is, you guys can do that on your own, since I showed you how to do the column A. So you do the same thing and you do the question 12. And then based on the results, N, A and B, whichever is more closer to 10 would be the one that most accurately deliver 10 milliliters of the water. Okay, based on the results, glassware A more accurately deliver 10 milliliters of the water compared to glassware B. So you have to find out the question number 12 and then you can answer whether it is true or false. So that's how you're going to be performing your calculations for the pre-lab. Okay, so I showed you how to do at least one, so you can do the rest. Okay, all right then.